Welcome to the talk show Promise Bangladesh, sponsored by Crown Cement. Today we'll discuss the issues relating to Pakistan, Myanmar and Bangladesh. And to suit the very purposes, we have two guests. They are very known to the nation. One is Professor Farhad Hossain. Basically, he is an educationist and member of the election conducting committee of Awami League. How are you, Mr. Farhad?
I'm fine, sir.
Thank you. Other being Mr. Syed Mamun Mahbub, Central Coordinator, United Lawyers Front, one of the leading front which is known as Assembly of almost all the lawyers in Bangladesh. How are you, Mr. Mahbub?
Fine. How are you, sir?
Fine.
Thank you.
Well, Professor Farhad Hossain, you are a person of wide experience and knowledge, and you know very well what is happening in Pakistan. What is your understanding about the ongoing scenario in Pakistan?
Thank you, Sinava. It's a very, very good question. I am exactly adherence with the politics of Pakistan since my maturity, particularly having the maturity in politics during my student life and in my professional life also. Pakistan seems to be a very peculiar country to me. And at the very beginning of the country, that means the creation of Pakistan in 1947, you know, in the slogan of the nation state on the basis of religion was highly questionable. Very interesting matter is that, you know, that the state of Israel has been created, and David Ben-Gurion was the first prime minister of Israel, and he was asked a question when he formed the government in 1948, the first Israeli government headed by David Ben-Gurion. The question was that why have you created a state on the basis of religion, that is Zionism? He straightly answered, please go to India and ask Mr. Jinnah. Mr. Jinnah, a leading lawyer and the leader of the Muslim community, has already created a state in the name of religion, and why not me? And since then, you know that I have got a special interest in Pakistan, and from time to time, I have got some repulsive attitude. You know, in the beginning of the creation of the state, particular group of oligarchy exactly started creating the influence in the politics of Pakistan in capturing all the organs of the state, the military, the civil bureaucrat, and the third one is the feudal lords. You know, I think that the common people does not have any particular voice in Pakistan's politics. So this is the picture. You know, all the politicians, almost all the politicians in the members, particularly in senates, in Pakistan, Gana Parishad, in provincial parliament, you know, all are the feudal lords, all are the tycoons, you know. They are controlling the society. The common people does not have any voice at all. Very interesting matter is that Pakistan is very unfortunate not to develop a middle class. Middle class is very, very important exactly to determine the position of democracy and fundamental rights. There is no particular strong middle class in Pakistan. Have and have not. Have is the feudal lords, moneyed men, and the tribal leaders, you know, and have not. They're living under the sky. They don't have any particular economic condition, status at all. Even if you look at Sindh, you will find so many hearts. People are living under the sky. They don't have water. They don't have electricity supply. They don't have health care. And they are not exactly privileged to have the minimum rights of the citizen of the country.
And what is the present scenario?
Present scenario is very interesting. The election has been held already, and surprising, Imran Khan has played a very strong role, even being imprisoned, you know. He is definitely, I salute his leadership. He has thrown a challenge being an imprisoned man also. He owned the majority, he has owned the seat of 100 or 101, you know, and where PMLA, Pakistan Muslim League, own 73, 75, and PPP 56, you know, and Imran Khan is supposed to form the government. The problem is that the present government, particularly by the infusion of the military, Imran Khan has lost the party identity, the tag of the party, and that is why Imran Khan is in a position exactly to attach to the political party to form the government. And how far it would be possible, it is a question, okay? That the Pakistan is proceeding towards the coalition government. Very funny is that People's Party and Pakistan Muslim League are going to form a coalition government, and so far my knowledge goes, the 2 years and a half would be ruled by PMLA and 2 years of half will be PPP. And that is the demarcation, that is the division of enjoying the power, particularly in the tenure. But thing is that how far it would be possible to continue the full tenure, it is a problem. So far my knowledge goes, no prime minister, no single prime minister exactly could complete, you know, the tenure in Pakistan. You know that Nawab Liaquat Ali Khan, the first prime minister of Pakistan, you know, it is very important that he was about to complete the tenure. Or if he would continue only 10 months or 9 months, he would complete 5-year tenure. But he was tragically shot dead in a public meeting in Rawalpindi. He was assassinated.
Thank you very much for the message you have given to us.
Thank you, sir.
Well, Mr. Syed Mamun Mahbub, you listen to what Professor Farhad says.
Yes.
And what is your profoundest understanding?
Thank you, Dr. Sinha. I very attentively heard my colleague, Dr. Farhad Hossain's statement. Before going to, because history he has uttered very nicely and very in a lucid manner. But one thing I think he missed, that is that not only Jinnah was the first person or Muslim League that the India should be divided on the religion. We missed, and that is the paradoxical of our history, is this subcontinent. Before Jinnah, 1935, RSS, the philosophical organization and boss of present Modi government, RSS, BJP. RSS in 1935, clearly their leader Savarkar, they uttered that in independent India, there should be two land, two state. One is for Hindu and another is for Muslim and Christian and others. And not only that, they were so fundamental, they uttered and told very categorically in their literature, because they were very intellectuals, no doubt of that. They were very knowledgeable persons. And they said that the Muslim and Christian are the enemy of the independent India. So the blame or whatever the villain we have made Mr. Jinnah, that may be true. Jinnah divided the country, his active role, but initiated by RSS, the philosophical boss of present Modi government. So that is the crisis, and that's why now we are missing the Nehru and Gandhian India, the secular India, democratic India, we are missing. To come to the Pakistan, my friend, my learned professor Farhad has nicely said, not a single prime minister or the government could complete their tenure, because in Pakistan, military is another state. While the last occasion brutally killed Benazir Bhutto, before that of 15 minutes, she wrote a book. In there she narrated that parliament, judiciary, civil administration, business community, general people of Pakistan is one state, another is army and ISI. It's a tragedy. And now in Pakistan, army is known as establishment. So it is the connection. It is the chemistry between the army and the government. Last occasion in 2018, yes, Imran Khan is a popular leader, but he had to compromise with army. And then he became the prime minister. His party came to the power. But he was not allowed. When he tried to be independent, when he took various steps to pro-people, and what my learned friend said, took a step against the feudal lord, against the oligarch, then Imran was dropped out. So now, but this time, first time I see, the army has lost its control over the people. Because army thought, if we allow PML Nul, that is Nawaz Sharif, free hand and all type of torture, political vendetta against the Imran, because not only he was arrested, his men were arrested, no-fly zone was passed, not only that, their symbol were taken, party was banned. You know, Dr. Sinha, you know better than me. In various constituency, the symbol was cow, symbol was water turbine, symbol was typical. But apart from that, one credit I would like to give the Pakistan administration establishment. At least during the vote day, they allowed to hold the vote election properly, which Farhad Bhai did not allow us. So at least vote was held very nicely, free and fairly. Now, today, before coming here, Dr. Sinha, I was observing the various Pakistani media. Now, Bilwal has said that he will not form the government. He has left his demand as the Prime Minister. He said that people has not given me mandate to form government, so we will sit as a chair of opposition, but we will help Pakistan Muslim League Noon, Nawaz Sharif, to form the Prime Minister. Even they decided that they will not join the ministry also. So I think in that respect, I think some maturity Pakistani leaders has earned, because yes, there is a tragic part between Pakistan and Bangladesh, and still Pakistan has not paid unconditional apology for the genocide they occurred. We always demand, and we also demand the present young leaders of Pakistan, because if you want to join together, then the healing is necessary. After Second World War, Germany paid apology, then French, German, now they are friends. Now they are the same member of same European Union. No visa is required. So Pakistan leadership should do that. But at the same time, I think it is the high time for the Pakistani politicians to take a determination whether their narrow politics will continue, or they, at least after 75 years, they will take initiative to move Pakistan towards the democracy, not backed by army establishment.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Professor Farhad, it means Pakistan People's Party is not joining the cabinet. And what you uttered a few minutes ago, it is destined to collapse after 2 or 3 years.
Definitely.
Because whenever the People's Party will draw, what will happen?
Thing is that there is an enmity. It is an old issue between PPP and PMLA, you know. I think that how far it will be possible exactly to continue the tenure of the government by the support of People's Party. How PMLA will continue exactly in power with the support of PPP, it's a question. At any time, PPP can discard the support from PMLA. So the future of the government of Pakistan, which is going to be formed, we cannot make the prediction at all. One thing that is very important, I don't like to make the prediction. Politics is a game, one kind of game. Okay? One kind of game. I think that it is very difficult to make the prediction on politics. At any time, political course may be changed.
And in very particular Pakistan.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you for your comment, Mamun Bhai. It is very, very important. So, I can envisage only. It is not my prediction because I am not a soothsayer. The government which is going to be formed in Pakistan, it must not be continued. It must not be able to complete its tenure. It is sure and certain, and Pakistan might have another sort of political situation be faced, and the urgency might be created to form the government once again for the country.
And do you foresee the same thing?
Apparently, the history teaches us that way, because there is, in fact, before emergence of Imran Khan, these two dynasties were one after another ruling the Pakistan. And in my first occasion, I failed to narrate that Imran Khan, the popularity of Imran Khan was one of that he is very much anti-India, he is very much anti-establishment, anti-oligarch. And another thing, he was very much vocal, the dynasty politics.
Thank you very much. Viewers, we are going for a short break and come back very soon. Please keep watching. Viewers, we are back to the talk show Province Bangladesh, sponsored by Crown Cement, and we are having talks with two brilliant speakers here. One is Professor Farhad Hossain, other being Syed Mamun Mahbub, and he is basically a lawyer, Supreme Court of Bangladesh. Well, Mr. Mahbub.
Yes.
Now come to the point of Rohingya issue. Everybody knows what is happening along the border side, and Arakan army is fighting with the Myanmar army. At the same time, Rohingya crisis is on. No solution at all visible now. How do you analyze the whole and relate the whole things?
Thank you, Dr.Sinha. You have posed a very important question, and my knowledge regarding such political, geopolitical dispute is very limited. But as a citizen of my beloved country, I would like to narrate something. First of all, Myanmar for the long time has been suffering from democracy. The military juntas are ruling the country. And when the country is run by military junta, not by the elected people, various viruses automatically grow. And one of the virus is the what I should say, to kill and to domain and to predomain the people who are very insignificant number, minority people. And what we witnessed, not from this time, I think in the 1980s also once Rohingya came to here at the time of while Ziaur Rahman was the president. He also took very courageous step. But fact remains that this time the barbaric attack and the atrocity by the junta against the Rohingya Muslims is unnarratable, is crossed all the limits. Civilization is far away, even they reached or they are trying to reach the Middle East. So that problem Bangladesh government, I must say, as an independent country, but neighboring country, but for the long legacy of help the poor people and the distressed people, in fact the refugee, because in 1971 our predecessors also became refugee and took shelter in India. So Bangladesh government did the right thing, at least I should say. Maybe the dealing should be more prudent, should more cautiously. Now this matter has become so complex because Burmese National Border Force, that is called BSF, they also call BSF. Each and every BJP, sorry, yes, I stand corrected. So numerous members are coming to our country, BJP. Arakan army day by day is becoming more powerful. There is a very fighting, and some I was observing or I was seeing some international media newses. They were telling us that maybe Myanmar may be broken because the junta's typical feudal and the very brutal attitude to the minority people and as a whole. So, and there is also involvement of China and some interest also India, because in Nagaland, Mizoram, there are some persons. So it's the most complex matter. What we need as an independent country, because political dispute, political struggle is within our territory. That must on. But apart from that, when my country's my country's border problem arise, then everybody should sit together and should speak in one voice. One voice is that we must protect our border from the anomaly or the atrocity created by Myanmar government. That is my first understanding.
Thank you very much. Professor Farhad Hossain, what the step Bangladesh should take at this very moment?
I think that Bangladesh should have a very rigid position towards the policy of Myanmar. And I must appeal to the government that government should, even if necessary, deploy army along the border if BJP is not sufficient exactly to protect the border. This is very important because Burma is a very peculiar country. You know that I'd like to exactly recollect the name of one of the diplomats, is Kamruddin Ahmed, who was not a career diplomat, he was a political man, attached with Mr. H.S. Sarwar very closely. In 1956, when Mr. H.S. Sarwar became the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Kamruddin was appointed as the High Commissioner of Pakistan in Myanmar, then Burma, you know. And Mr. Kamruddin was a lawyer, like Mamun Bhai, he's a Supreme Court lawyer, but very intelligent man. He had written a book that is Madhyabitter Attukahini, very important book. Kamruddin continued a pretty long time, particularly as a High Commissioner of Pakistan in Rangoon, presently Yangon. He watched the social fabrications of Myanmar during the time, and he watched it very clearly that the Burmese people are exactly being oriented to the military orientation. Since then, you know, since 1956. and now it has been fulfilled. And Burma, Mr. Kamruddin made a comment and prediction that Burma is going to a failure situation to command a state as a nation state. And I think that the so-called Indo-Pacific program sponsored by the United States of America in the name of so-called democratization, I think this project will not find out any kind of exactly success. And today I'd like to say, it is not my prediction, it's my comment. I'll not be surprised if the United States of America would get the similar experience she had exactly in Vietnam.
Thank you very much. In Vietnam.
Farhad Bhai has reminded us of Vietnam, but I think this may be the, with utmost respect to my fellow colleague, it would be the example between not in a similar footing. It would be pineapple or apple, because Vietnam was the revolution, the Marxist revolution under the leadership of Ho Chi Minh, not the mechanical follow of Marxism. They took the essence of Marxism, Leninism, but they fought in Vietnam from the soil of Vietnam. That's why America had to lose that war very passionately. They lose that. So that is another time. If you allow another occasion, we together can discuss the Vietnam, the glory of our Vietnam. And you know which student organization I belonged, Bangladesh Chhatra Union. In 1973, 1st January, to support the Vietnamese people, the first 2 student leaders became martyred by the then Awami League government in front of Press Club
yeah,
for the solidarity of Vietnamese movement, Motiul and Kadir. I respect them. But I agree with one point with my Professor Farhad, that Myanmar now has become the political pawn of various international geopolitical forces. What the America wants to do, what the China wants to do. Because China is smart enough, but China is very capable to make the country a beggar, what they did with Sri Lanka. So the Chinese association, the Chinese money, Farhad Bhai should take very serious, very cautiously, because they are the benia, they are the business person. They have no commitment to the politics. They have no interest to what the neighboring countries. They only need money, money, and money. And Sri Lanka is the glaring example of that. But I think in present scenario, what we are witnessing in the Teknaf and other bordering area is very sensitive, and the government, whatever may be, what are the question may be, the election and other things, but at least in this respect, I think government should consult with all the political parties. Maybe this may be then another venture that government can call all the political parties. If all other political parties does not respond, that will not harm the government. But the people will understand that government is, at least in this respect, government is interested to talk with all. At least a consensus may be grown up, if problem is that acute. But I think we should be more careful, and Myanmar is a complex case, and it is it shows us and it teaches us that the military or non-elected government or without vote assuming power in the long run does not bring well for the country, whatever the country may be, whichever the country may be.
Well, thank you very much. Professor Farhad Hossain, you belong to our Awami League ruling party. As Advocate Mamun Mahbub feels, the government should invite the political parties to have discussion on Myanmar. And there must be some sorts of consensus, if not all, definitely comprising the political parties in parliament and some political parties outside the parliament. What is your opinion?
Fine. In politics, discussion, dialogues, conversation, these are very important phenomena, issues, I think. If there is a national crisis, I think that not in Bangladesh, but also all over the world, particularly, the government or the opposition likes to sit together to bring a solution to the national crisis. So dialogue is a very important thing. If we face any situation like this, I think that present government is very much apt and sincere to call all political parties. And our Prime Minister, our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, previously called so many meetings like this in Ganabhavan, you know, and where stalwart politicians from different levels, from different opposition exactly platforms exactly, went there and took lunch, dinner, etc., etc. This is a practice definitely in our country, in our political practice also. You know that during Pakistan period, we also watched so many dialogues, so many conversations between the ruling party and the opposition. Even Bangabandhu, when he exactly owned the ample majority, was supposed to form the government to be the Prime Minister of United Pakistan, he did not discard exactly the idea of discussion even with military dictator, a despotic ruler like Yahya Khan. So we are exactly enriched with the spirit of Bangabandhu. So I do believe that discussion is a very important thing, and I do support my friend Mamun, exactly which exactly he made the proposal. Yes, Mamun bhai, if the situation is so, if the situation seems to be like this, yes, our Prime Minister is always ready to do that.
That's a nice
no doubt about it. Now I'd like to tell about something regarding India. This is very important because in our discussion, India is not coming. How? India is going to have the permanent membership in the National Security Council of the United Nations Organization, you know. And the thing that has been missed here in this discussion, if the United States of America likes to give overemphasis on Myanmar, okay, then India will play her role definitely. And I will not be surprised if India exactly will reconcile all the future problems between China and India on the issue of Myanmar, particularly to save Myanmar from the clutches of the United States of America, particularly on the issue of so-called Indo-Pacific project.
You think so?
I think it's premature. We need to wait and see, because India in international policy, India is still with US administration. Recently 2+2 meeting were held. But I think what India will gain, or what America will gain, what China will gain, I'm less worried of that. I am worried for my country. I am worried for the democracy of my country. I am worried for the people of my country. Who maybe support my people, I am with them. Because in 1971, India helped us immensely, because the Indian policy was to divide Pakistan, and our question was to self-determination. So the Indian foreign policy and our liberation war mixed together, and there is a harmony. So that was that time India was very nice.
Mamun bhai,
thank you.
But now India is not doing the same role which they
thank you very
in
much.
1971.
I will come to you again because we have to go for a short break. Viewers who are going for a short break, please keep watching. Viewers, welcome to the talk show Promise Bangladesh, sponsored by Crown Cement. We are having talks on many issues, and now we'll enter into the domain of Bangladesh. And we have two guests who are very vocal about the whole thing, and this is Sinha and Sayeed, anchor of this very talk show. Well, Mr. Farhad Hossain, about Bangladesh. Recently election held in Bangladesh, and there is a cabinet. Also a standing committee, all the standing committees have already formed, and government is running. There are so many challenges from the government, especially in the field of financial sectors, trade and commerce, and crisis of monetary matters, banking sector, money laundering. What is your overall realization about the success of the government to cope with all the situation?
Thank you, Sinha. It's very interesting question. I was very much tired to listen to so many predictions before the election. You can say that It was the monumental predictions, monumental predictions. The government will be the government will not be able to hold the election. If the election is held, the government will not be formed, a schedule would be changed. Yes? And so many predictions, but it had been failed utterly, you know. And government has already been formed, and in this term, government has already completed more than 1 month in power. Cabinet has been formed. The youngest cabinet member having the portfolio of education, not more than 40 or 45 years old, and the oldest member of the cabinet is 82 to 83 with the portfolio of finance, you know. And now you are telling that how the government will face the financial crisis, how the government will deal with the financial institutions exactly to run the economy of the country. I think that Awami League is a very matured political party, exactly facing so many odd situations, so many problems, tantamount, impediments, etc., etc. You know, our Prime Minister is experienced, highly experienced. She is holding the office more than 15 years at his stress, you know, and I think that I am fully confident in the unique ability of our Prime Minister to deal with the situation, whatever it is. I think that I would like to express my confidence without any confusion that the present government, the forming government, will be able to complete its tenure in the coming days, 5 years tenure, okay? And yes, the government will take some strict measures exactly where some lawfuls are going on and has already been created, okay? And standing committee have been formed. I think that if there is an anomalies in this, the forming of the standing committees, the Prime Minister will see it once again if we make the comment that we are not almost satisfied exactly to see the standing committee, because standing committee is like the shadow government, exactly to watch many things, to address many things, to bring it to the notice of the cabinet, you know. And I think that our Prime Minister will take a serious concern to form it in a very pragmatic way, so the standing committee would be able to do anything for the betterment of the country in administration, in economy and everything.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Mamun Mahbub,
Yes.
do you believe the Hossain administration believes in criticism?
Before going to answer your very pertinent and very interesting question, just a couple of minutes I would like to take from you for your for this for our country. What was the genesis of our birth of this nation, wherein 3 million people died, became martyred, 2 million brave women lost their chastity, and enormous sufferings of our people and as a whole. The two lines of our Mujibnagar Declaration, whereas instead of fulfilling their promise and while still contending with the representative of the people of Bangladesh, Pakistan authorities declared an unjust and treacherous war. So Pakistan actually imposed in 1971 that black 10:31 a.m. that Operation Searchlight, and Siddiq Salik Witness to Surrender book, a very lucid manner narration was that Khadim asked, Tikka asked Khadim tonight. So genocide began. And what was the lofty goal of our liberation movement? Equality, human dignity, and social justice. So now I would like to ask my prominent Dr. Farhad Hossain, my dear Farhad Bhai, how much we are near to equality, human dignity, and social justice of our country after 53 years of independence. I believe and I pray to Almighty that Awami League BNP, the leading political parties, leftist and Islamic, all political parties should grow, because decrease or abolition of political parties will not bring Bangladesh to their to the goal of the liberation war. In the next time or coming days, we may face same as facing the Burmese people, because state depends on the people's will. In our constitution also, I don't know, my best friend Farhad Bhai what will answer. In our constitution 11 says Bangladesh, the republic shall be a democracy, and everything will be elected through the people's participation. And I'm sorry to say, not to discuss, prolong, at least till January 24, our nation had witnessed 12 attempts to hold the national election, which changed the power. Fortunately or unfortunately, sadly or happily, only 4 times, 4 initiatives at least were accepted to the general people under the caretaker government. No political party government could able to hold the election. Maybe some worst, maybe some bad, maybe some worse, but not in a proper term. This is the tragedy of my country. And I am not happy to narrate that. I always believe in my family, even my law chamber, I always even firmly or very attentively hear the opinion of my clerk also, not only apart from my junior advocates or senior advocates. Because democracy is certain things, it needs practice, practice and practice. Democracy is not like, yes, so I have won the election, so democracy is established. Now you go to the bed, I am taking all the city problems. And unfortunately, after independence of Bangladesh, our political parties, our ruling establishment, even current dispensation, all, they did not try to attempt to build any constitutional organ. You see, in India, while Indira Gandhi declared emergency, Dr. Jonak Rai Raj, an eminent lawyer, not like myself, a simple lawyer, general lawyer, he was an eminent lawyer. He wrote a book, Judicial Impotency in the Emergency Period, because he wrote that book that H.M. Sarvai, you all know, the one of the constitutional expert of India, even in our Supreme Court also refer his books and his authority, because we all share the common law history, common law legal system. He said, when High Court division rose to the occasion, Indian Supreme Court sank in the emergency. And I don't know, you know better than me, or Farhad Bhai certainly knows better than me, our judiciary, what they are taking role in such a crucial and a very sensitive atmosphere. So I think what you question that the cabinet and everything, you see, in West Bengal, it's a popular slogan, it's popular understanding, a common dialogue, that the post is only one, that is Mamata Banerjee is the CM, and rest are lamppost. So I think you got my answer. So it all depends on one person and one building.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Professor Farhad, coming to the point of regional politics, international politics. Recently, US released a note regarding Indo-Pacific. And US believes India should be leader in the region. And the same thing they uttered in 1978 during the visit of President Carter to India. And they say India is subcontinental power. What really America is doing? We are very much confused, the whole thing. Please.
I'd like to take you back to the history. During Nehru's time, when he was the Prime Minister, you know, he was proposed by both the United States of America and Soviet Union during the time to accept the permanent membership in the Security Council, exactly to make a voice in the United Nations organization. And it was an objective, exactly, particularly objective of the United States of America to create an intervention, particularly by India, exactly, impediment before China. But Nehru is a man of different. Nehru was a man of different type, a very strong personality. He was not only a politician, but also a political philosopher. You know, he did not like to see his country inclined to any sort of particular superpower. He used to believe in the line of non-alliance, in the line of Panchshila, you know, and that is why he did not like to create enmity, particularly with China, and that is why he was not mentally prepared to accept this sort of proposal to be the permanent membership in the Security Council of the United Nations organization. But now America is very much unrest to bring India exactly in the chain of having the permanent membership in the Security Council in order to make a deterrence before China, you know, and India is now prepared to accept it under the Modi government. And when India will accept the permanent membership in the Security Council, the geopolitical scenario of Asia would be changed, definitely. And I think that America is trying to use India against China, but another game is waiting for the United States of America in the future phase. What will be the future phase? It is a question. Right now, I am not prepared to make any sort of prediction or any sort of statement before this. Just I am waiting for this. How long I will be alive in this world, but I desire to live exactly to watch this sort of scenario in the coming days.
Thank you very much. America is making game, having India within its box. Just 2 minutes. What's it?
Yes, very shortly, since my friend has referred the Jawaharlal Nehru's name, I could not control my temptation. In my small understanding, he is the best prime minister of this subcontinent ever we have got. His political intellectuality is unparalleled. In very short, the democracy and to what I should say, the patience. You know, there was a cartoonist, some Lakshman. He regularly in Indian newspaper used to make cartoon ridiculing Nehru. Then the other ciphers of Nehru always says, look what the Lakshman is talking with you. Sometime since Lakshman became ill, Mr. Lakshman, 7 or 8 days, no cartoon was published in Indian newspapers. Then Nehru called. Lakshman, what is the matter? Have I become?
Where is Lakshman?
Where is Lakshman? Am I irrelevant now in Indian politics? I have no relevancy. So see the magnanimity of tragedy. We have not got that leader in our periphery. And now you are questioning. I agree with my friend Farhad. I would like to see, because in my student politics atmosphere against the US imperialism, that time one dialogue we used to say that America is such a country, he will give the signal that they are going to right, but they will go left. So to believe America is a very hard thing. So we need to wait.
Bravo.
So
well,
this is.
Thank you very much. Well, viewers, we are about to end this talk show, and before ending this talk show, usually I summarize the talks expressed by the two talkers. Both of them are very much high of the future of Bangladesh. At the same time, they are very conscious about what is happening in Pakistan, in the context of subcontinent, what is happening in Myanmar. Because anything happens in Myanmar, it had immediate effect on Bangladesh, because it is a bordering country with Bangladesh. And we have the two borders, one is Cox's Bazar, and that is Thansin Upazila, Pandorbon. So it's the crux of the whole problem. We are very much alert, and Bangladesh government at this very moment has taken very right steps to tackle the situation. And we know very well that all the BJP members fled here. They are going back, they are returning to Myanmar through the negotiation with Bangladesh government and Myanmar authorities. And maybe behind these things, India or China may play positively. And what is more important is that regarding Indo-China, Indo-Pacific affairs, both of them are very much aware of the role being played by America. And America is trying its level best to make India a visible and countable power in Asia against China. And that is the play. And what will happen, we don't know. At the same time, they are very much concerned about the coming political landscape of Bangladesh, centering our geography, centering our economic, trade, commerce, and banking sector. And they also believe if the government is in a position to tackle all these things at a minimum level, ensuring the peace and stability in the country, this government will have a life, more life. And thank you very much. We'll meet you again in the next talk show. Thank you.